Yo, what's up guys? So we're here to showcase off the new Marincess in action, and it almost becomes a towers-like deck, meaning that it's going to build up this big monster and your opponent cannot really do anything against it other than, of course, Kaiju. Now, the best thing that you can actually do right now is to go ahead and make a marbled rock utilizing crystal heart as material, because if this monster is used as material for that monster, it's unaffected by your opponent's card effects. So basically, you have a big monster with Battle Ocean that's going to go ahead and increase your attack for 600 for each the equip card that you have equipped to it. As soon as you summon that Link monster, you can actually equip up to 3 Marincess Link monsters. And basically, it's as easy as like the Salomon Greats to link. You just literally link upwards and they all give you an extra monster. So it's really consistent to make this. If you happen to have the Battle Ocean, you're pretty much good to go. And then on top of that, you have Marincess Wave, which will be able to allow you to negate whatever cards that your opponent might have as like their one out. If you control a Marincess Link monster, you can target a face-up monster your opponent controls and negate its effects. And then if you control a Link 2 or higher, all face-up monsters you control are unaffected by your opponent's card effects already. So that basically gives you that towers aspect, even if you, let's say, happen to not have it. But if you control a Link 3 or higher, which of course Marbled Rock is, you're able to activate this card from your hand. But also, Marbled Rock, every single turn, is going to re-add back this card, which is going to be a problem because, you know, once it goes back to this turn, okay, go ahead, activate this effect, get back Marbled Wave. So you basically, you have the Marincess Wave every single turn. As long as you've activated one or it's in the graveyard, you're going to get it back every single turn. And because this card's immune, they can't really do anything to stop it. So once this deck goes rolling, it's difficult to beat. Let's go and watch some more plays over here. But I think the Salomon Great player probably didn't actually know what that he was doing, because he actually tried to get rid of the Link monster like 3 or 4 different times, but it's immune to card effects as long as it was utilized by, of course, the new card Crystal Heart as material. So once again, most of the stuff is going to allow you to easily go into your standard combo, and the reason why is because Crystal Heart, as well as Sea Angel and Blue Slug, they all basically go right into each other. And then with the Battle Ocean, you're going to be able to add that for free already, because that's just the way the archetype works. And there's another card, Blue Tang, which is going to let you activate the top 3 cards and let you add a Marincess card from your deck to your hand. And then with Sea Angel over here, if this card is Link Summon, you get to add 1 Marincess spell from your deck to your hand, which is obviously going to be, of course, this card. So he gets rid of the field spell, which is obviously a good thing to do. So against the deck, what you would normally try to do is try to get rid of all of the back row over here, because this card's immune to everything. So you try to get rid of the other Marincess cards, but a lot of times they're just going to go ahead and, of course, stop you from going off and getting rid of the other cards. But let's say you happen to finally get rid of the back row. Now, in this instance, I think this guy, he thought he could maybe get more value out of the Phantasme. Maybe he didn't know what half these things do, and that's totally understandable because it's new. I really felt like you should have summoned the Phantasme, Yasuo over there. But he's probably thinking maybe he's going to make 1 more card. He's like going to try to get that max value out of the card. And then he summons Holy Awesome, so he's like, well, I guess I'm not going to go ahead and do that. The guy draws and just says GG. I actually checked out his deck. He didn't actually play the, well, he summons the Solar, and he just basically says GG at this point. But it doesn't really matter. Let's go ahead and just go into it. I don't think there's anything in his deck that could actually compete with this. The only thing that I can think of is maybe like a Boral. But the problem with Boral Sword is that with Marincess Wave, or even just this card already, Marbled Rock actually makes it so once per turn, when opponent's monster declares an attack, you can send 1 Marincess monster from your hand to the graveyard, and monsters cannot be destroyed by that battle, and you also take no battle damage from that battle. Again, depending on like how certain things were activated, maybe he wouldn't be able to use it, but for the most part, I think the guy just kind of gave up because there was also technically Totally Awesome there, which of course might have stopped another one of the plays already. Yeah, that was that duel. But let's go and check it out. There's a mirror match over here, and you guys can see maybe kind of how the deck plays. I think if you stop the first Marincess, like if you were to, let's say, even trap hold them, if you get rid of their first summon, I don't think they really have follow-up plays. Look at this dirty guy over here. He has the rank up to 7th one. He draws right into it on his first turn. Like, that's so dirty. But obviously they get stopped by Totally Awesome, and then we have Impermanence. Here's what I was talking about before. Like, once you stop their combo from going off, they really can't do too much. Because basically, what they try to do is they go for one monster, and they summon Blue Slug. Blue Slug, well, if this card is Link Summon, you can target another Marincess in your graveyard. And then you get to add it back to your hand. You only can summon waters. But basically, what you're trying to do is re-special summon it to the zone a Link monster points to, which will then go into other cards. If you need to add the Battle Ocean, obviously, you go for the other Link monster, which would be the Sea Angel. And then, again, just going to go ahead and from there, usually you end up going for Coral. And then, of course, you go into the Crystal Heart, and going to go ahead and equip some stuff. This time we're going for the Wonder Heart. So once per battle, during damage calculation, if it battles, you can special summon a Marincess monster you control that is equipped to this card. So there's extra utility with, of course, the newer stuff. This one is actually a newer card as well, but this is supposed to show you guys can actually push for quite a bit of damage in the deck as well. It's not just like a Towers deck. You can do a little bit more things, especially with the Frog engine, because they don't really just require the Marincess. It just requires water monsters, so that makes things pretty easy. And then on top of that, if this card in its owner's possession is destroyed by an opponent's card, you get to special summon one Link 3 or lower Marincess monster from your graveyard. So you basically get to link downward and then continue on from your plays. But for the most part, it's just going to be kind of the same stuff over. We got Tremids. I haven't seen this deck in a while, but we'll go ahead and kick it off with this duel. Again, a lot of the duels are going to be the same bread and butter plays, which you will see over and over, which really comes down to just going for the play of Sea Angel, add the Battle Ocean, and then special summon whatever cards that you can. Go right into the Marbled Rock. This will let you equip all 3. And in this instance, you have a Towers. Remember, because it was used Crystal Heart. They might update it and make it say specifically it's unaffected by card effects. Sometimes when you mouse over the card after it's been used as, like, one of the cards was used as material. This guy, again, rereading is hard in Yu-Gi-Oh! And again, it's just a newer card. And again, when you mouse over it doesn't actually say that. So that could be why he's confused, but it doesn't really matter. He's going to Solemn Strike. The card's immune to card effects, man. I don't know what else to tell you. But most people won't be expecting this. I mean, that's always a good way to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Surprise your opponent. Well, he's got that Magic Drain. It's not going to be doing any good turn to. I don't even know. Magic Drain, what is this deck, dude? I honestly haven't seen Tremids, but again, it's just mostly to show you guys that, like, people don't read this card, and then that's going to activate its effect, but that's going to get stopped anyways. He still has Totally Awesome, and it's not going to be looking good for Gato over there. But anyways, now that you guys have seen the new Marincess in action, let me know you guys' thoughts on it, but we also have a deck profile. Shout out to my boy Teriyaki for hooking us up with the plays. Oh, there is, actually, hold on. There is more Marincess plays. There's another build here. Let's show off the other gameplay, and then I want to show off both of the builds. Because there is a Paleozoic build that you can build as well, because it actually works quite well. I mean, Paleozoics add the additional ability to have extra back row support. I just like the Frog engine because I think it's more fast. I feel like with Paleozoics, sometimes they can be too slow. And then they summon that Denko Sekka on you. Actually, I was main decking Denko Sekka when I was grinding for the top leaderboard spot on Dueling Book. I actually main decked a Denko Sekka, and I absolutely loved it. Against any Mystic Mine, it was great. Against True Draco sometimes, if they didn't open up good, it's just like you summon it. And it was awesome. But anyways, and also made plays a lot safer against like an Inspector Border. That was also like a great thing. But anyways, so you got the Battle Ocean. A lot of times you'll see it's bread and butter plays just to kind of go for that. But this card's great. Equip a bunch of cards. Go ahead and attack. That card's just going to go ahead and re-special summon it. The Wonder Heart. So you guys can see again the difference in plays over here, and that's going to like actually re-equip back. That's how this card works. So you get to like special summon it, and then like, oh okay, I'm done. Okay, re-equip it, and now it's going to be stronger. But this card is the card that I really like in this deck. Marincess Wave is so good. They actually have another support card. It's not really that viable. The other card, you have to wait until something gets destroyed at that point. Like it's too slow. But I will go over it once we go ahead and hop right into the deck profile. because I like seeing different builds and stuff. Yo, like Madolche's is actually a pretty sleeper deck. I know someone's gonna comment, like, dude, you're watching this against like tier 60 decks. Okay, I don't think Marincess is anywhere near Hakai's or any like Orcus for the most part. I mean, once you go for the Towers combo, a lot of decks, even like Danger Thunder variants, the Danger Thunder Dragons, they could still lose. I mean, obviously, that's a matchup on who's going first is definitely going to be set up to win. But we got the Wonder Heart. So in this build, you're seeing a lot more Wonder Heart. The other card, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, as long as you use it as material, making this card immune. This or, of course, the Marble Rock, it doesn't really matter too much. Marble Rock is, I guess, a little safer because in the off chance that they actually attack, you can prevent your Marincess from going away, being destroyed by that battle. And you also take no battle damage, but who cares about battle damage when your monster has like 4k attack. He's going to go ahead and ping a Trops, get rid of that card. But now we're going to go ahead and just attack. He's going to go ahead and reset the Dolce over here. And then he's got basically one more turn, but Gamma's going to go ahead and try to stop an enemy. And we're going to go ahead and re-add back some cards. Go ahead and throw out the Ocean, increase the attack over here. He's got impermanence, and it's just not looking too good for him over there. And we'll just go ahead and showcase all of them real quick, and then we'll hop into a quick deck profile, just so you guys can see some of like the difference in plays. But Signet Mining is a really good card, because I know right now the main thing that you're seeing it in right now is the Playmaker deck, as well as different variants of any of the Playmakers. That and Salmon Greats. Salmon Greats probably the more meta one that people are utilizing it for. But I mean, the card is definitely going to be good. So unfortunately, that play gets stopped. But of course, well, with of course Paleozoics, we're going to have a lot more plays. Shout outs to Canadia, Duel Links. So we're going to go ahead and summon. And then you can kind of see, I guess, the extension of plays. But I think, again, the frogs are just faster. And that's what I personally would prefer. But also, again, shows you that you don't always have to go ahead and go for the Marbled Rock. You can just go ahead and make Wonder Heart. I mean, it doesn't really matter. As long as it's immune to all your opponent's stuff and it has 4,000 plus attack, it's just going to be easy claps, man. So we're going to go ahead and attack right over that. Then he's got 2 copies of the Power Well. Gets the Terraforming. Gonna go ahead and put that circuit up on the board, but I don't think it really matters. I haven't seen any pure Cyframe decks in quite some time. There was one in the OCG that did okay. It was a Psychic variant that had the card where you get to like pay multiples, and I guess you can do a lot of damage sometimes. But Wonder Heart, attack, and go ahead and put that other card in the back, and then re-equip it. So at this point, yeah, you also have the waves, so you're gonna be able to stop. Make all of your monsters unaffected by your opponent card effects, and you get to also negate. Now, in this instance, we have Marble Rock and we have Wonder Heart. It's not too common that you get up both, because usually by that time, the game's already over, and he's going to go ahead and activate that effect. And then now he has Circus, so he can go for Zeta, and he's going to go ahead and try, but yeah, unfortunately it's immune. I mean, a lot of stuff is kind of just bread and butter repeats, so he's going to go ahead and draw some cards. He's going to go ahead and also be like, okay, you're activating a trap card, and go ahead and summon Morelia. Again, just extra waters, and that's going to be game anyways. So I think you guys get the idea, but I do want to show you guys both of the builds. This is the second build that you guys saw, which was using the Paleozoics, courtesy of Magus, but also shout out to my boy Teriyaki. We'll get into that build too. But first off, we got 3 copies of Blue Tang, 3 copies of the Seahorse, 2 copies of the Ghost Ogre, 1 Sea Star, 3 copies of Mandarin, 3 copies of Mining, 3 copies of Battle of Ocean, 2 copies of Storming, 2 copies of Impermanence, 3 copies of Picaya, 3 copies of Olendis, 3 copies of Dino, 3 copies of Wave, 3 copies of Morelia, 3 copies of Canadia. The extra deck's pretty much the same, so I'll just mouse over it real quick, and then we'll go ahead and go over the other build. Like I said, I do like the idea of throwing these in because it adds, again, more survivability. But I think you got to be fast in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, waiting a turn to activate your stuff is just bad, especially if you're going second and they establish a board. I don't know, I just feel like it's just bad times, man. But anyways, we got 3 copies of Crown Tail, we got 3 copies of the Blue Tang, 3 copies of Seahorse, 3 copies of Swap Frog, 2 copies of Sea Star, 2 copies of Rodent Toad, and 3 copies of Dupe Frog. Get that Dupe Frog lock. And we had 3 copies of Mandarin, 3 copies of Moray, 3 copies of Mining, 2 copies of Terraforming, 3 copies of Battle Ocean, 3 copies of Impermanence, 3 copies of Wave, 1 copy of Snow. Okay, so this is a card we didn't really see. There was an opponent that went during the Marincess mirror match we saw, but like I don't think it's that great. So it makes it so if a Marincess Link monster you control is destroyed by battle by card effect, you target one of those monsters and special summon Marincess Link monster from your extra deck with a lower Link rating than that target. This is treated as Link Summon, and if you do, it is unaffected by your opponent's artifacts while you control it. You can only activate one Marincess, though. I don't like it, it's just too slow, that's just my personal take on it. But again, the extra deck is pretty much the same. You basically want 2/2 of like most of the Marincess. And then with Crystal Heart, if you want to play one, you can, because you're just going to recycle most of the stuff anyways in the deck. But yeah, that is the deck profile. But there's also technically Surface, you can run this. And there's also, just like as extra targets, Salvage, what's it, 1500 lettuce attack. You can also think about that, again, it allows you to go for more aggressive plays with Swap Frog, especially early on in the game. But anyways, that's the deck profile, that's Marincess. Let me know, guys, what you think of it. I think that it is good, again, if you're able to go first, but basically if you get that first card stopped, like, if you can't make any plays, a lot of the cards are just more special summons, and if you're not getting, like, the play off, like, you don't have any secondary options, unless of course you play the Frog Engine, which can maybe get you totally awesome. But even like right now, if you go totally awesome pass, it's weak. It's a weak play in Yu-Gi-Oh! You need multiple negates. But I mean, even with Orcus combo, it would probably destroy this deck. Most decks. I mean, if this deck gets to go first and it makes this and it's immune. Again, the goal is to basically pop the back row. That's how you want to deal with this deck. So it's not like super immune to everything, because if it was like the Marincess monster is immune, and if it got that boost when it was summoned and it stayed there, then it'd be much better, but because it starts losing the attack. But then again, you have Marincess Wave to kind of prevent it from going away, and then obviously with Marble Rock you can protect itself. I don't know, it's not terrible though. But anyways, that's Marincess. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below on the new Marincess. And shout out to my boy Teriyaki as well as Magus for sending in some replays of both different unique builds. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, drop a like on it. If you're new to the channel here, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out, and turn on that bell, because YouTube, that's just the way it works in 2019. But if you guys got any cool other builds of Marincess, I'd love to see them. But I think, as of right now, I think the Frog build is the way to go. But anyways, thanks for watching, and peace.